Hi guys, Josh Kasparic here. And I just have to say, this is going to be a bit of a commentary. I've labeled it as a football snapshot, but I apologize if people are tired of this topic. But I think the NFL's still getting it wrong in terms of the way it's handling domestic violence and child abuse, DUIs, drug abuse, other forms of its problems that its players are facing. You see, the NFL, much like the concussion scandal, likes to sit on things as long as it can. And one of the key things that was missing from the concussion scandal was people's awareness. Once we were aware that concussions were bad, it was like overnight we culturally reversed ourselves. Concussions used to be things that we thought were funny. I remember when Nick Goings was hit in the NFC Championship game in 2005, in which Lofa Tatupu also got a concussion, but Nick Goings couldn't stand up and needed his teammates' help. I remember the string of posts on the forum I was at the time that thought that was hilarious. We didn't know the damage it was doing. We didn't have any idea. But once we as a society and as a nation did, it was something we were willing to change. It was something we were willing to tackle. And why I think the NFL's missing the boat here is because society needs a push. When it comes to mental health, society still poo-poos it. Of all the things that we tackle and we have awareness for and we have, marches for and gatherings for, mental health is not one of them. Therapy, counseling, this type of stuff, it's all seen for as things for the weak. And this is why the NFL is missing the boat. In treating these issues, it can't be about punishment. Because taking away 8 games, which I think is still necessary, isn't going to fix the overall root of the problem, which is a player that needs counseling, emotional support, and mental health treatment of some kind, particularly with drug addiction as well. But as a society, I don't think we still appreciate the need for this. And this is what I would do if I was in a position to change the NFL's approach. One, it would be to issue the suspension. But I would issue that in those 8 weeks, those 2 months of time, I would make sure that the players got into counseling, got into anger management, whatever was necessary to treat their particular situation. That the approach would be that once they got out of those classes, once they got out of that counseling, they continued to go for upwards of a year. And then, once that was concluded and they had returned full-time to football, they would again become part of a group of treated players that dealt with their problems. And this group would then form an awareness group for other players about getting help, getting counseling, getting treatment, which teams should now offer as a default. mental health is not treated in this country. A lot of it's not even offered on basic health insurance, and it should be. We as a society need to realize that the brain is part of the body, and when the brain suffers injury or it suffers problems, they need to be treated just like the body in any other circumstance. If you're having explosive rage issues, it needs to be treated like someone who has the flu. It does. And we as a society need to start treating mental health as something serious, not something funny, not something that we spend, our time giggling about a guy who has to go to anger management classes. We need to start seeing this as something that is just a part of being a healthy, productive human being. Thank you for listening.